You are listening to the Hello Sport Podcast. All right, welcome back to the Hello Sport Podcast. Time of unqualified opinion and unwavering bias here on a Monday, very early. I think it's the last Monday of March for the entirety of 2022, which is fucking, savor that moment, punters and dribblers. My voice a little hoarse from the weekend. Feeling pretty good, all things considered, Edward. Fuckloads to talk about, obviously, and we will get into it more in depth at some point, but Manly looking good.
Manly looking great. Great way to cape out a great weekend. Great weekend had by all, at least in my little universe.
Yeah.
Manly get the 2 points. We will get to that. But I do repeat myself, Manly get the 2 points.
We'll get to it.
We'll get to it, but Manly got the 2 points.
Manly got the 2 points. Worth mentioning off the top there that Manly now in the points, but we'll get to it.
Manly in the points game.
Manly in the points, but we'll get to it later. But important nonetheless, Eddie.
Very important, punters and dribblers. Tom, how are the arms, bruh?
The arms.
Yeah.
Oh, the arms. The arms are good. The arms are good, punters, dribblers. Daddy made his triumphant return to the drum kit on the weekend. Triumphant as it was. Driffs made a comeback. Well, it was our comeback farewell tour.
Drifts or the Drifts?
Well, it's Drifts, but people call it the Drifts. I mean, look, the name is the name. Call them the Drifts. Call them the Beatles. Call them Beatles. Call them the Beatles. But, Drifts the Drifts. You can swap it in, swap it out. All our songs on Spotify, whatever, not a big deal.
They're on Spotify or SoundCloud?
Spotify.
They're on Spotify.
Yeah, Harv's put them on Spotify. I was like,
so I can go and listen to Drifts on Spotify.
You should.
Wow.
Yeah, you really should. So it was our comeback farewell tour.
Yep.
One show, one night only.
Yep.
At Yuli's in Alexandria. Big night.
Yep.
Matthew. Hello. How are you? No, you're right. Big night. Well, we had a lovely lunch, Edward, leading into it, which you were also there for.
I was. Also
farewelling Henry. I, because I was playing, right, because I was drumming, because I was on the drums.
Yeah.
I didn't want to you've got to keep your wits about you. We weren't playing till fucking 9 o'clock, which was already criminally late. But so we were at a lunch, which usually gets pretty rowdy.
Yes.
And by 4 o'clock, I was like, I'm in some big trouble. Because I was thinking, all right, I'm going to go hard early. Like this was like a marathon. Go hard early, get out to a lead, and then just coast. So what I did was I got out to an early lead, and I was, had some rosés, had some tequilas, had some vegan cigarettes, and then I was well out in front. I was significantly out in front of most people.
Yeah, you were in trouble.
Well, I was in trouble. I was in good form, I think. I think many would describe it as fine form.
Well, just from the perspective of you were like, I've overplayed my hand here.
Yeah,
When you got the double tequila, you're like, I've bitten off more than I can chew.
Way more. Got a mouthful here.
Yeah, I got a mouthful on the go here. A serious mouthful. And I was like, well, easy, Tiger. But also, I didn't care.
No.
Because the thought of you fucking up was like, that was entertainment enough.
Yeah, well, that would have been probably worth the price of admission, which was free, I'll have everyone know. But I then just went and I pulled up, Tommy, and I just stopped drinking for like 4 hours, 5 hours. And
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, you pulled right up.
Well, I was like, why the hell would I want to go and embarrass myself in front of everyone? So, and it was funny because the last time Dad had ever come to watch us play, we were in our early 20s, and we were absolutely off our guts. And like, I think Artie, who's one of the lead singers of the band, at one point was like apologising to people on stage because we were so fucked. And then Dad was like, I'm out of here. Dad used to like work in the music industry. He doesn't need to fuck around, indulge this sort of shit, right? Like, it's just like,
was that the casino night or a different night?
No, casino night we did all right. Shout out to, I can't remember what the fucking casino night was called. Anyway, no, it was one of the ones that it's the Standard on Oxford Street or Kinsella's or something around there. Like,
right.
Anyway, so I didn't want to repeat that because that was the last one. Everyone, like family, were there, but I just know that Dad last time saw us, we were absolutely blind. So managed to rein it back in, and thankfully it didn't. Now this is just the way my life is now because we do this podcast and funny stories almost trump all. As I was playing, the drums were on like a raised sort of little, it's not a stage because it was only about 8 inches higher than everyone else, but we'll call it a stage. It was on my own stage. And I'm very heavy-legged on the kick drum. Bang, bang, you know what I mean?
You like giving it a bit.
I like giving it a bit, right?
Yeah, sure.
During sound check, Eddie, which is the thing you got to do in the music biz, really just check your sound.
Who checks your sound? Is it do you self-check?
No, there's a soundy there who's setting it all up, making
Right,
sure
okay.
everything works.
Sure.
Again, it's a very serious business. I said to him, I go, I'm very heavy on the kick drum. It's sitting very close to the edge of this stage that you've built for me. I wouldn't want it to fall off. And he's like, no, mate, you're fine. It's not going to fall off. It's got like carpet and this and that. It's not going to do anything. And I'm like, okay, bro. All right. Anyway, we're mid-show and I'm like kicking away, kicking my heart out, kicking with the best of them.
Yep.
And this thing is one of the front legs of the kick drum is now like off the edge of the stage.
It's teetering,
dude. Like, so
you don't want things to teeter.
So as I'm playing, I'm having to like stop what I'm doing and drag the drum closer to me and then try and keep playing, which obviously doesn't sound good, but I'm like so nervous that this thing's going to fucking fall off. And I had to keep doing that through the show, or then the song would finish and I'd pull it back and then keep going. And in the last song, in the last like bit of the last song, like the last time we're ever going to play, right? This is our fucking crowning glory.
Yeah.
We saved the best songs.
This is the crescendo.
This is a crescendo. Yeah. Everyone is, even barely paying attention at this point. A 40-minute set's indulgent, especially when they're all fucking originals. And
very indulgent. I think you scrapped a song as well.
Yeah, we did scrap one song as well.
More indulgent.
Yeah, it would have even been more indulgent. But so it was about to fall off, and I'm sitting there playing, going, "This would be a great story if I let this fucking drum kit just tumble off the stage and clang and clash and bash and smash and fuck everything up." But I bitched out on that as well, so I just had to keep trying to drag it back.
So that story went nowhere at all.
Well, I told you that. Such is my love and my thirst for yarns that's what I'm thinking of in the middle of fucking playing. It was like, this would be a good story on the podcast if I let it fall.
That would have been a nice ending.
Yeah, I know, but I'm telling you that I couldn't do that, but that's where my mind goes. What's the like most embarrassing outcome for this that might end up being a fucking yarn?
No, I get that, but it's pathetic because you set it up and then it never happened.
Yeah, but you know what? At least you know now, punters and dribblers, that when something does happen on the show, it is true. In the sense that I didn't want to fabricate some goofy yarn where I'm like, oh.
So as you're finishing this, your last set, the most epic set you've ever done, 40 minutes of super indulgent fucking originals. You're pulling back the kick drum.
Yeah.
At the end. Instead of just letting it all hang out.
Yeah.
You're pulling it back.
I'm pulling it back.
Isn't that a fucking... Does that sum it up for the Driffs?
Well, I was saying it wouldn't be anything more driftsy than just that whole thing fucking collapsing and just everything fucking up. It was funny as well.
Or is it more driftsy you like pulling it back?
Well, dude, that used to happen all the time. I remember times where like back in the day, like the drum kit would break when I'm playing it and I'd just have to stop playing in the middle of a song and just be like, there's nothing I can do here, guys. You just ride this one out. The kick drum broke.
How many fuck-ups did you have?
On the night, I didn't have too many, but you made a good point when you were leaving when you're like, bro, no one fucking can tell anyway. Like, and I was like, yeah, it's a good point. But I would have had a few, but nothing really. The other boys had a couple as well. Because they didn't take my
sober
marathon approach. Get out fucking early and then slow down. So they were a little bit more fucked than I was. So I was like, I don't care. Someone said to me though, I think it was, actually a couple of people said to me, they were like, I've never seen you have such a concentrated look on your face. It was like, oh yeah, Burmo fucking tries to act all fucking cool and like he doesn't give a shit day to day, and then you see him up there and it's actually only look like you were shitting your pants. I was like, well, okay, didn't know that.
I saw some footage that I found to be quite entertaining.
Fuck yeah.
Really serious Tommy Burns.
Yeah, mate.
Trying to keep beat.
Trying not to fuck it up. Oh, God.
Yeah. I enjoyed that thoroughly.
No, it was good fun. Thank you to everyone for coming out.
Big crowd?
Yeah, no, huge crowd.
Worth waiting till 9 p.m?
Bro, we were going to be on at 10. And then thank Christ, I mean, we were going to have some mates of ours. So we were going to open for us.
Didn't happen?
Well, one of them got COVID. So we were like we were just like, you know what? Brilliant. We can go earlier. Just so everyone knows as well, Gang of Youths opened for us once. So
open for you?
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah. Oh my God. Someone found an old fucking poster. I didn't even remember it. Someone found like an old, random ass pub. Oi, bands on tonight. Get down there for a fucking sick one of bands you've never heard of. But Gang of Youths actually was on it. So it was like, oh, okay. Sorry, Gang of Youths. We were going to ask them to come open for us.
Just for old time's sake?
Yeah. If in case, send them the flyer and be like, listen, you probably remember this night. It was probably like one of your greatest achievements.
Yeah.
Not all the R's.
This is where it all began.
International acclaim. But you want to open for us at Yuli's? Anyway. So that was me, dude. But we had a great lunch. Lunches are always good. The boys' lunches on a Saturday.
Lunches are fun.
That's what it's all about.
Lunches are good.
And then,
we all enjoy our lunches.
you obviously didn't get to come and see me play, which is, that was heartbreaking.
Devastating.
But you, I'm assuming, had something better to do, because otherwise, why would you leave me?
Well, I had to go, and we missed a friend's wedding of ours. Wedding clash.
So you were saying their name was Clash. I was like, that's a
So we
name.
had a dinner booked in, which was lovely, in Manly. Buster, shout out to Buster.
Shout out to Manly.
Shout out to Manly.
We'll get to him, but shout out to Manly.
Shout out to Manly. There was something in the air down in Manly. Ripped down there, a few Negronis, a few Tommy's Margs.
Oh, yeah.
Plenty of yarns, plenty of giggles, plenty of laughs. I broke a chair. I was so animated telling a story that I leant back into it and it snapped.
That's when you get pissed and on one, into a yard, that's almost your superhuman strength. It's
I get really strong when I'm telling a yarn. Really strong.
Yeah, when you're in, and you snap the chair.
Yeah, I snapped the chair, yeah. And then I had to spend the next 10 minutes sort of leaning forward, and then we left. So
they didn't know?
I was like, I'm not. Well, they might be listening now, but
did the people you were having a conversation with know you broke the chair?
It was all, it was pretty fucking obvious when they heard the snap. But the restaurant didn't know, because I was like, fuck that.
You didn't tell the restaurant?
Nah.
That's pretty dog of you, dude.
Maybe.
Yeah, look, I think you probably...
I just assumed they had a spare out the back.
Well, I mean, look, I guess to be fair, if you were just sitting and it being animated, that is what a chair is for. It's not like if you were throwing it around and break, you don't pay for a plate you break.
Look, if that was my own chair and I just bought it, I would be disappointed with the craftsmanship.
Okay.
Because I wasn't stomping on this thing.
No.
I wasn't jumping on it.
You are a yarn. You do get physical.
It wasn't yarn proof, this chair.
It wasn't yarn proof.
And
they need to be.
They need to be.
It's just in a restaurant.
If it doesn't have YP on the side of it, don't sit in it. If you're a yarner of note, and you're looking to spin a couple,
we've got yarn-proof chairs.
Night.
Tell you what,
fucking oath.
The new studios, those are yarn-proof.
New ones are yarn-proof. We insisted on it. We got yarn-proof. We only ever buy yarn-proof.
Well, but you had to go antique because a lot of chairs these days aren't made yarn-proof because it's like the planned obsolescence of the phone.
We live in an obsolescent time where people are more interested in making things shit, so you buy more of them than making things to last. We went antique, we went old school, we've got yarn-proof chairs, you'll see them shortly. Keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah.
But I had a great night, Tom.
Did you finish the yarn after you broke the chair?
Yeah, I finished it, yeah. We laughed about it and then I finished it.
And then you finished it, there you go. Hey, never let a little breakage of a chair, a non-yarn-proof chair.
Never let a breakage get in front of a yarn, punters and dribblers. Take that to the bank. That's a lesson to live by. Spend your life living by. Yada, yada, yada.
Yep.
What else did I just flopped around the weekend, bruh? Went up to Palm Beach on Sunday with Elsa. Just cruised around.
Cruise? Lovely.
Yeah. You know how it is.
Yeah, I do.
Then it poured rain. I laid on the couch and watched the footy.
Steffi took the babies to her mum's on Saturday night because she knew that daddy was...
So you had the house yourself?
Rockstar dad.
Did you finish late?
Yeah, I got home 3:30-ish. Well, I mean, that's as late. That's dad late, dude. I mean, it's still late. I don't know what the hell you're trying to, you're selling at the markets. I'm not doing a 5 a.m. I'd prefer to fucking die.
It's just because you had it all set up, you had your little passes to use and all that shit.
Yeah. So
I thought you were going to go hard in the paint.
I did go hard in the paint. I'm not going any harder than that, bro. Are you kidding me? I've got to fucking deal with children. get some kids in your life and you'll know what fucking
Well, I thought you had the whole day off.
Yeah, I did, but you know that's always going to come with caveats, and that even though I used my Father's Day coupons, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I got coupons for Father's Day last year, which allowed me to get a fucking night off and a day off after. I used them. I cashed my coupons. I knew they were always going to come with caveats where, like, if I literally did nothing the next day, like, no, coupons, that wouldn't have flown. It was more like ceremonial coupons. Yes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're in practice. They're fucking worthless.
Well, you know, they're not worthless because I did have a good night and I did sleep in. I woke up at 11. Which is
that's pretty good.
That's great, dude. No, like I got the day off.
The coupons work,
dude. The coupons work. Steph didn't come home till fucking 3.
Right, but after that,
well,
you just don't get the whole.
I vacuumed the house. I mopped the floors. Right, so I did some shit. Right? So technically, it wasn't the entire day off.
Were you told to do that?
I did.
You had a coupon in play.
They're my Sunday responsibility.
I understand that. I know that they're your Sunday responsibility.
And if I push them, then
I'm just wondering, Tom, if. Like, was there a conversation had around the fact that you had clearly played some coupons? The coupons were in play.
They were in play.
Was there a discussion around, listen, Tom, you don't have to?
She said, when will you do it if you don't do it tomorrow? And I said, I'll do it.
I said there was a discussion had.
Yeah. She said, well, when are you going to do it if you're not going to do it tomorrow? And I just said.
Did you bring it up saying, listen?
No, I didn't bring it up. Because I was like, this coupon, the day off coupon, is giving me a day off.
Yeah, it is.
So I need to take that. Now, then she goes, all right, well, so what about your chores? You know, vacuum the house, mop the house.
I love that you've got chores, dude.
I need them. I need something to keep me straight because I won't do anything otherwise. I don't think about like my mind doesn't operate in like, oh, what can be cleaned? Is that in the way? Like, fucking, there'll be something sometimes something will get pointed out to me that I've left on the floor for like a significant amount of time. Next to our bed was about 80 coat hangers that just sat on the floor. I cleaned when there was all this mold in our house, so I had to go and clean all our clothes and wipe all these coat hangers. Those coat hangers have sat next to my bed for 2 weeks. And she was like, bruh, you have got to pick them up. I'm like, it's a great point. I've walked past them every day. Haven't even thought it's like a tangled mess of shit on the ground.
Were they neatly? Or
no, bro, all like a ball of like coat hangers, metal and, you know.
Fucking coat hangers.
So I need to be kept on the straight and narrow with some chores. Anyway, she brought it up. When are you going to do it? I said, don't worry. Listen, I know there's a coupon in play, but I'm going to forego that coupon, the specificity of it, and I'm going to fucking do some chores. But anyway, I got home, ordered a pizza at 3 a.m. Shout out to whoever's selling pizzas at that hour.
3 a.m.
At that hour, not just pizzas generally.
No. Well, shout out to people.
I fucked
up.
Shout
out to pizzas generally.
Yes. Agree.
But 3 a.m. is a fucking big lift.
It's a big lift. So on the way home in the Uber, I ordered 20 chicken nuggets from Macca's, realised I ordered them to the wrong address, ordered them to the brewery where I had just been, so they got some nuggets, I hope. I then had to get straight back on there and order a pizza to the house.
Why didn't you double up on the nuggets?
Because there was none in my delivery area.
Oh, Bondi was closed?
Yep.
Debo.
So, found anything, pizza available, brilliant, get it to my house. I get home and now it's just about staying awake for it to arrive in time. Stayed awake and then woke up at 11 the next morning with a fucking box of pizza next to me in bed with some of the pizza left. And I'm going to be honest with everyone that I woke up and I finished it in bed. And I was like, this is weird. Or this is like not weird, not great.
It's not weird.
The optics would be bad if someone were to have, if there was a camera on me.
Look, the optics would have been poor. I don't think anyone's going to defend the optics.
No.
But there's a difference between optics and reality. And sometimes reality trumps optics. Often it does. Look, you know, I can understand that you lay nude in a pit of your own stench and covered in last night's dinner. And then you return to the scene of the crime and go again.
Yeah. Finish the job.
It's not a great look, but no one's looking. So
no, so if no one's looking,
mate, people get up to some weird shit when no one's looking.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
Pizza held up all right as well.
Pizza does hold up.
Yeah, pizza does.
Pizza holds up. You can eat pizza cold, no problem. Even if it's sitting out, it'll hold up. If you put it in the fridge, it'll hold up. It holds up.
Pizza holds up.
What'd you get? Barbecue chicken?
No, dude. I'm a seafood prawn pizza guy.
You like prawn, don't
Dude, prawns are dope, dude. And prawns on pizza, it works. You might say that a prawn is going to hold up less than anything else.
It's going to hold up way less.
It's got a shelf life.
Oh, look.
You got to pound it the next day.
What are you looking at?
Early.
3 into 11. You're looking at what, 7, 8, whatever.
No, that holds up. That time frame's fine.
That's okay.
But I don't think
you don't
you're
want to push that out into the late arvo.
No, you've got a day. Well, not to be left out, but if it's refrigerated, you can do it.
Different. But it wasn't refrigerated.
No, it wasn't. It was next to me.
Yeah, exactly.
It's probably quite warm, actually, next to my fucking heaving mess. Punters, dribblers. Mainly punters and dribblers who have penises, because this is a male offering. Pilot.com.au, the online men's health portal. Listen, let's be honest, let's be real. We don't take our health that seriously, or at least we just avoid it, push it to the back of the mind. Oh, I've got an ache, I've got a pain, I've got a floppy dick. I'm ignoring it. You go to pilot.com.au/hello sport. You're going to get your first doctor's consult for free. Just get your foot in the door, start the conversation, start waking up that floppy PP, start, fixing the bloody ailments that you have that you maybe don't want to address, Eddie.
Take things seriously. Like, your health is your life, mate. Your health's your livelihood. Take your health away, where are you? You're nowhere. You might be dead. You know what I mean?
You know what, though? You never appreciate your health more than when you're sick.
And then when you're sick, you're like, oh my God, what have I been doing? I've been taking the piss out of myself.
Yeah.
Stop taking the piss. Go to Pilot and they can fix you.
Yes.
Okay? And the first initial free doctor's consult on the house, thanks to Hello Sport, using the code Dribblers, is the way to get things going, baby. Go to pilot.com.au/Hello Sport. You know the drill. Look after your health. Make smart decisions. Your health's everything.
Make smart decisions. When we talk rugby league on the podcast, Punters and Dribbles, we do it for our good friends at KO, the home of rugby league. All games, live, uninterrupted, ad-free during play. If you aren't getting on your knees for KO...
something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Because it'll be the best experience of your life. KO, make dreams reality.
Yep. Beautiful.
Because then you're like, oh shit, like how can I possibly watch rugby league uninterrupted and ad-free during play?
Dude, you had KO in your mouth, that's why. Anyway, let's get into it. So look, Eddie, I think it's important we talk about it. To kick things off, we said we'd talk about it. It's time to talk about it. Manly back in the winning circles, the winners column. I don't think anyone's surprised by that. Certainly not you or I. Getting the job done over a very, very, very impressive Bulldog side. Nothing like the side of 2021. We know that, completely different essentially. Maybe a top 8 side, maybe a top 4 side. The Dogs, a good, honest, gritty 1-point win in the wet.
Look, good judges have the Bulldogs finishing, 4th, 5th, 6th, something like that, Tom. That's good judges. Great rugby league judges.
Real judges. Judges of consequence.
Real judges like a judge's judge.
Yeah, like a white wig judge.
They're a much improved side. They've got Matt Burton there now who rips and tears.
Addo Carr, Pango Jr., Paul Vaughan of Microwave Dinner fame.
Exactly, and that goes a long way. A microwave dinner will go a long way. Yeah. Very little can go a long way in the microwave dinner game. The
microwave dinner goes a long, long way.
It does. It goes a long way. A long, long way. Paul Vaughan gets that. And the Bulldogs starting to get that. Now, people say, fucking hell, Manly barely got the job done against the Dogs. For reasons I just explained, the Dogs are a different side. We now know that. It was pouring rain. It was torrential on the beaches. I will start with this, though. The new fucking ground looks
hot as
unbelievable.
Shit, the Fulton stand.
The Fulton stand looks ridiculous. Let's start there. I mean, have you seen a better looking stand in all of world sport?
No.
Oh, wait. Couldn't name one. What they've also done, Tom, which I think was unbelievable and sort of snuck under the radar, but the new pitch? Okay. Did that fucker drain a dream yesterday?
New turf, Eddie. New turf. They
dropped it down a metre, Tom?
Yep.
They've dropped it down a metre. They've put in new drainage. They've put in cooch.
I think it's Cooch.
I think Cooch is
just running the eye over it. It looked like Cooch to me.
Look, I obviously wasn't there, Tom.
No, we weren't there.
Wasn't able to make it. That's fine. It was pouring rain. Wasn't able to make it. That's fine. But running the eye test through the TV screen, I saw Cooch.
Cooch grass. All the hallmarks of Cooch, quality Cooch.
But the commentators were saying, this is the best piece of grass in the entire world.
Yeah.
That's how well manicured it was. That's how impeccably presented it was. That's how well it held up in the wet. Now, that allowed us to go out there and make statements. And when the game got tough, when it got gritty at the end, and someone needed to stand up and be counted, Mr. DCE, Mr. 24 field goals.
21. I think it's 21.
I think it's 24.
I'm happy with either. I thought they said 21 last night, and I was like, oh, 21, 21st. Could be wrong.
I think it's 24, and I think there's two people ahead of him, 25, 26. But I think he's on 24.
It's a shitload of fucking one-pointers to hit, isn't it?
Mate, like, it's difficult to count to 24.
Let alone kick that many.
Kick 24. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 24.
Boom. Now, I think he's got the third most in the NRL era, so it puts him in pretty fucking good company.
Rarefied air.
Rarefied air. He gets the job done. Now, Tom, was it a perfect performance? No, it wasn't. But it's not. It's very rarely.
It's round 3, bro.
You're not going to get round 3 perfect performances, Tom.
You need room to improve.
Have to. The only way is up for us.
Yep.
You know?
Very high ceiling for the Seagulls. You know that. Grinding out a gritty 1-point win over a highly touted Bulldogs side. I tell you what else. Tommy Trebojevic of dumbasses who don't get rugby league talk shit about him fame. He, in a game where it was difficult to be flashy because it was gritty and it was wet, he was fantastic. And the man can be flashy, hot boy, swing your dick around footballer, but he can also just be a gritty 1-point win sort of a player. And he took like 18 plus carries, 150-ish meters, scored a try. Like,
mate, he was immense. And
he's a man for all seasons.
He's a man for all seasons, and he was last night. Again, gritty 1-point win in the wet. He was well defended at times, but at times undefendable, if you know what I mean. Well defended at times. Shout out to whoever the fuck was defending him. Can't remember his name.
Everyone was fucking defending him.
But, you know, it's hard to keep the great ones down.
Yeah.
And you saw yesterday afternoon, 6:15 p.m, Brookvale Oval in the wet.
Gritty. 1-point win.
That you can't keep the great ones down. He stood up and he fucking put his hand up and he said, fuck the lot of you. You've forgotten about me. I'm still great. Jake Trebojevic, his brother, with one of the great post-match interviews all time, just wanted to get the 2 points.
I'm just happy to get the fucking win.
Just happy to get the win.
Yeah.
And you know what? Can you blame him?
No.
I can't blame. You know, hey, are you going to blame a man for just wanting to get a win? When you got Des Hasler as a coach?
Rugby league's a simple game, and the appetite of the footballer and the football fan, to be honest, is pretty basic diet.
Yeah.
Wins.
Yeah.
Need a win. Don't care how it happens. Give me a fucking win.
It's pretty simple. In the regular season, we'll take 2 points at any cost, and in the postseason, we'll take wins.
Yep.
It's pretty simple.
Now, you know, we've got people working around the clock for us, whether they be dribblers, interns, et al. One of our head researchers, or a couple of our head researchers whose names I will not give because I've forgotten them, were hard at work overnight, carrying the ones, subdivision, long division, multiplication.
Divisions and multiplications. Arithmetic.
So last year, Eddie, we were 0-4 to start the season.
Yes.
And then in round 5, who do we beat?
The Warriors.
What was that scoreline?
1 by a point, 2 points, 3 points?
1 by a point, 13-12. We beat them.
Is that right?
So that was, and then we finished 2 games short of the grand final. So now this year,
1 game short.
2 games short of the grand final. Well, as in 2 games short of winning the comp.
Winning the comp, because we're in the grand final qualifier.
Win the grand final. So now we break that drought 2 games earlier with a 13-12 win in round 3. You would now think that we win the comp.
Yes.
We were 2 wins short of the premiership.
Yes.
So now we are...
everything happens 2 games earlier.
Yeah. Now we make the grand final. We win the grand final.
That's pretty simple arithmetic. Also, as a budding patternist, I see a pattern emerging whereby Manly does win the comp in 2022 based on that arithmetic. I think it's brilliant. I think it's dastardly. I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Manly paying something good
Now, we go to our beloved Mudgee this weekend. We take on a Raiders side.
Are we in Mudgee this weekend?
C, yeah, Willowvale, which is Manly.
There you go.
Mudgee, rather. Saturday afternoon. Against the Raiders side all at sea. That doesn't know itself.
That side.
They've got to win on the weekend, sure.
But they fucked us on the weekend as well.
They've got to win on the weekend, sure. But that's a side that doesn't know itself, Tom. That's all I'm saying.
Dude, 22-0. 22-0, and they come back and win. And I'm like, this team.
But I knew. I was like, I tipped the Titans. I know what's happening here. I should have got on the blower and fucking pounded the Raiders into the earth, but then they would have lost by more. Like, I've been over this a million times. I can't win.
You fucked me,
There's
though, as well with
nothing
that.
I can do. But you were supposed to go the opposite. What do I do?
I just went try scorers only, and even that fucked me because I had one, Philip Sammy, and then they didn't score another try for the rest of the game after they got to 22. When you think they're going to score 100 points and they don't score any more and the Raiders come back, like I just needed Jaden Campbell. Not Jaden's fault. It's your relationship with the Raiders' fault. But
Just
it fucked
do
me.
the opposite of what I do. That's all you have to do.
Oh, I know.
If you did the opposite of what I did in every Raiders game, you would be fucking rolling in it.
But by the time that I then decide to do that, something will happen. It'll fuck me. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm all at sea. I'm 0 from 20 whatever rugby league bets.
24. 0 from 24.
24.
That's quite a number. That's despicable. That's appalling.
Mm-hmm. I got bad beated though.
Sure.
Panthers, Knights, try in the fucking 79th minute to fuck me.
Yeah, I got fucked in that.
I was Panthers 1-12 Targo anytime, and they scored in the 79th minute.
I was Knights with the 12-point start. Bradman best to score. I was home and hosed.
Did you see Mitch Barnett? What he did?
Yes, I did. Really grubby.
Bro, like back of a like the guy I don't know who he elbowed blatantly in the face, but that was like MG 90s 80s rugby league era shit. I was like, that is extraordinary
and the player
behaviour.
going right past him as well.
The guy was just trotting through the line, and Barnett's put an elbow on his chin. I was like, he got red carded. Good, should.
How many weeks do you reckon he'll get?
Dude, they're saying like 4 to 6, and they're like, well, you think about what Latrell did. He got 6. I'm like, exactly. Latrell's was an accident trying to make a tackle. This was a cocked elbow to the fucking dome.
Mate.
Like Mitch Barnett of looks like a skinhead fame, just fucking smashes this guy in the jaw for no reason. Like,
I don't understand
how is that only 6 weeks? If Latrell is 6 weeks for an accident,
because it's Latrell.
I know, but if you're saying Latrell is a 6 week thing for an accident, I think that was even unfair for Latrell. It was a fucking accident. But if you're saying that, how the fuck is Mitch Barnett not like 12?
Well, if Latrell did what Mitch Barnett did, he'd be rubbed out for the season.
Seriously.
Do you know what I mean? That's the difference. So it depends who you're talking about. Because it's Mitch Barnett, bit of a skinhead, no one really knows who you are. 6 weeks sounds fine. If it's Latrell doing it,
Skinhead.
Latrell's doing it, season, probably a season, because, you know, he can't be trusted and fuck him, you know.
Yeah.
He's bad for the game, yada, yada, yada. But that's like, there's inconsistencies in the world, mate. We know that.
But that one to me, I'm like...
Mate, even Fletch last night was like, oh, mate, what, max 6 weeks?
Yeah.
Like, max 6 weeks.
To compare that to Latrell should mean that you go, oh, he actually should be getting like 8, 9, 10 weeks. You can't just elbow someone in the goddamn jaw for no reason. And I feel bad for, like, I know that would have been a brain snap from...
It's your classic black and white brain fart.
Brain fart, right? And I think he was crying in the sheds afterwards because he knows it. Like, it was obviously dumb, and we all do dumb shit. You know, he's not necessarily a bad person. He just did a dumb thing. But that's not the point here. You did elbow someone in the goddamn jaw for no reason.
Yeah.
Behind the play. The guy didn't even have the ball. Like, if he had the ball, you still can't sell it at the market, Eddie. But
well, it's harder to sell at the market, but you can sell the idea that you just wanted the footy.
Yeah.
You just wanted the pill.
Yeah. You're just trying to get the footy.
You know?
Just trying to get the footy. How am I going to get this guy to let go of the footy? What if I crack him in the jaw?
Footy. I want that footy.
Yeah.
I can, I mean, look, it's a long bow you're drawing, sure, but...
It'll take some convincing.
But you are still drawing a bow, whereas there's no bow in sight.
No, this is a bowless situation for you now.
Completely bowless. A bowless situation in which Mitch Barnett finds himself in.
But if he only gets 6 weeks...
Well, give him 4, Tom.
Yeah.
He didn't mean it.
4 to 6.
4.
Let's give him 4.
Take the piss out of poor old
Latrell. Yeah, give him 4 weeks.
Give him 4.
And like downgrade the suspension to like, an accident.
Yeah.
Or just give him a fine.
Just fine him.
You know what? Just fine him and let him back
maybe
out
an
there.
apology.
Yeah. From the NRL to Mitch Barnett.
Yes.
I think the NRL needs to apologise to Mitch Barnett.
Look, we knew it, yeah. Sorry for the mistreatment you've suffered. Someone brought up, Tom, and I don't know where I read this, if I dreamt it, maybe it was in the P's and D's, almost certainly was, around the idea of suspensions and rugby league being sort of tied to what you did, in that, let's say you get 24 weeks for something, you can take weeks off, but you've got to eat double fillet-o-fishes.
Okay, so
Mitch Barnett staring down the barrel of like a proper, like what he should be staring down, 10 weeks, let's say.
Yeah.
He can take weeks off, but he's got to get through double fucking fillet-o-fishes.
Okay, so how then are we going to make this work though? Because you can't have like one double fillet of fish a day. Has he got to have like 10 a day for 10, like...
No, as in like, you go into a Macca's and you fucking...
Pound.
You pound.
So you got to be there for 24 hours.
Well, I don't know how long he's got. Maybe he's got an hour of power. The more you get down, the more weeks you get off.
Because that's what it's got to be. It's got to be tough.
I think it's got to be an hour of power.
Okay,
I think if instead of looking at 4 weeks, you're probably looking at 14, and how many you can get down, good for you.
Or do you go, if it's 10 weeks, you got 10 minutes in there.
What, a week a minute?
And you go, you eat as many double fillet of fishes as you can.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. So like, it's if you've got 1 week, you're not getting a full hour, are you?
No.
That's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. But then for a week, you basically need to, just for a week or for 2 weeks, maybe you need to, it's got to be more than like 2 fillet of fish.
Yeah, I don't know of the math, and Dior might be able to.
Someone smarter than us, will probably break this down for us.
No, not smarter than us, Tom. With more time than us.
More time. You're right. If we had time.
Are you telling me I couldn't do that, bro?
Yeah.
I couldn't crunch the fucking numbers?
No, you could.
Come on, Tom.
No, you could.
Who invented the quant model, mate?
Well, that's true.
Us.
We did.
So...
We could do it. We don't have time.
That's exactly right. What I think what I'm getting at, though, fundamentally, is what I like to see skinhead leagueies try and put away fillet-o-fishes to take weeks off their fucking suspension. Yeah, bruh, I would. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
And it's like, judiciary night, instead of hanging out around out the front of judiciary and we don't get to see any of the footage inside of there, there's like the night after the judiciary. Fillet-o-fish night. There's cameras and reporters down there watching blokes in Macca's pound fillet-o-fishes.
You've got Hoops and bloody everyone, NRL 360 doing a live cross to Hoops down at the Macca's.
Bring Masood back if you need to, like.
Bring Masood back.
In fact,
bring back Masood. Make him eat some cheeseburgers to try and get a job back in NRL media.
Dude, if you can put away 10 double fillet-o-fishes in an hour, there's a gig for you covering...
Rugby League again. We will open our arms and allow Josh back.
But you will have to start with covering people eating fillet-o-fishes for the first year or two.
No, that's how you're the Macca's...
the Macca's correspondent.
Yeah, Macca's Masood.
Macca's Masood. Look, it's got a great ring to it.
Yeah.
I think that if the NRL, who are smart...
They are smart.
...are looking for extra content, things to pad the week during the week...
Yep.
There you go, mate. Wednesday night... Beautiful leading to Thursday night footy, right?
Yeah.
Then you've basically got every night covered by Tuesday and Monday.
Well, they've got an NRL 360.
Well, of course, but you know what I mean.
I like it.
I love it. I like it a lot.
I think it works.
Dior Dave, you lost again, you little bitch.
Yeah.
Sorry, what do you mean again?
to
Well,
the Eels. You lost again to the Eels.
You guys don't beat the Eels.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious because we do.
Yeah, we beat the Eels. We pound the Eels. You losers.
Yeah, well,
Explain
there was
yourself.
clearly some footballing gods, weird stuff going on there. Those last 3 tries were all an act of God and ridiculous and not fair.
Ray Stone might be one of the great Eels players in their club's illustrious history. Would you agree with that?
Look, you say it's all luck, but I'll draw your attention to Bloke in a Bar's post about Ray Stone. He was the only one chasing the seed, only one that had eyes for the footy.
Yep.
He's the only one that chased through, put himself in a position to make a play at the
Yep.
big time to win the 2 points for the Eels.
Yep.
And that's what happened, mate. So you can say, oh, it was shit, like it wasn't.
Well, it wasn't.
Because none of
just-
you were running for the fucking seed, mate.
No.
Jerome Hughes was there. He was trying. The post got in the way, but it
One
wasn't. I
guy.
mean, it wasn't
One
just that
guy.
try. You look at the try, 2 tries earlier.
The Melbourne
where-
DNA seems to have gone, I think, a little bit of like, turning up, working hard.
Working hard for each other,
Yeah.
follow each other into battle.
Elite sort of honesty, if I can
Elite.
borrow from the late Justin Langer.
Well, not the late.
Late
but-
coaching. Late.
Yeah, yes.
You know
As
what I
in
mean?
former coach.
Former
Justin
coach.
Langer.
He's still with us, thank God.
The late Justin Langer.
He's not late. Well, just let's clear that up.
But elite honesty has gone missing from
Yeah.
from the Storm setup. I think that's a great way of putting it, Tom. Elite honesty will get you a long way in professional sport.
Look, it definitely took a big hit when Christian Welch left. One of the most elite and honest men.
Oh, he's
to run on the
elitely
field.
honest.
Yeah.
Find someone more honest and elite
An
at the
elite
honesty.
thing. No. He is almost probably where the term was coined from. JL, the late JL, was like, fuck, I need someone who embodies elite honesty. Christian Welch has got it. Now, he doesn't play cricket, but I can model that off of him.
That's right. Well, sports take from each other, Tom.
Yeah, they do.
They've always taken from each other. Point is,
Storm
Dior.
shit.
Point is this: elite honesty's gone. The fabric, the backbone, the spirit of the side has gone wanting. I think that there's a big chance they miss out on the 8. And Ray Stone leaves the Eels now.
Well, he did his ACL score on the
He's
try.
out. He's out for the whole season. So he leaves the Eels, going to the Dolphins, a hero.
Yeah, a hero. Chaired out of the ground.
Well carried out.
Carried out. Yeah, he's carried out.
A chairing of sorts.
Well, he's still on a chair, but it was for medical reasons, unfortunately. Not the end that Ray would want. Genuinely sorry for Ray. There is something, and again, you never want to see anyone get injured, and especially in the short career span of a footballer, like ACL's a big fucking hit. There is something, because he's a toiler, he's a battler, Ray Stone. There's something uniquely Ray Stone about doing your ACL while you score the match winner.
Well, it's poetry.
Yeah.
It's poetic.
And poetry's not always a happy ending.
No, exactly. Well, have you heard of a tragedy, Tom? A
have.
Shakespearean tragedy?
Yeah.
I mean, that had all the hallmarks of a Shakespearean tragedy last night. Mm-hmm. There's a great win, but with the win comes sacrifice. And the sacrifice in Ray Stone's situation is a season-ending ACL injury that sees him leave the club.
Yep.
Now, you can't see that, you can't watch that and tell me that rugby league isn't poetic, because it is. It's one for the thespians, man.
Yep.
I've always said that. It's not just brutes hitting each other.
No. It's a dance.
It's a dance. There's
A violent ballet.
a violent ballet. Like Violent Soho, but without Soho.
But without Soho, and it's a ballet. And Violent Soho is a band, and this is rugby league. But you get it. It's pretty much the same thing. Tigers still suck. We can confirm that the Tigers still suck.
I will say this. Look,
Worst franchise in NRL history.
Yeah.
Well, current NRL history.
I will say this. I feel sorry for Tiger supporters.
Same.
I genuinely mean that.
We mean that.
You know I mean that.
From the bottom of our hearts to you, who are doing it
Tigers.
tough today, Tiger supporters.
You're doing it really tough. Now,
Shout out to Watto if he's listening. But one of many, but he chirps a lot.
Well, Watto's lippy.
Yeah.
I'm talking to the humble Tigers fan here,
Yeah.
the one that knows the situation they're in
Yeah.
and cries himself to sleep every night.
The standing out half-time Tigers fan.
That's the one
who
I'm
just
talking to.
celebrates everything,
Now, I genuinely do feel sorry for you.
Really sorry.
You're in a cunt of a situation, but I will say this, and I can never lie to the punter and the dribbler. I am enjoying watching this unravel. I am enjoying
Watching it burn.
exactly. Like sometimes you just like to watch things burn, and the Tigers are a light. And this could go up.
Yeah, dude, you guys are on fuego right now.
You're
This
on
thing is
fuego, and this fuego could turn into a fucking rip snorter.
rip
of a
roaring
fight.
bushy if you don't get the old extinguishers out and just become the magpies already.
Well, look, that's one way to extinguish the flame, is to just pack up shop, say sayonara to Balmain. You can burn down that Leagues Club once and for all on Victoria Road.
It's already fucking...
Yeah, but just Erase all memory.
Yeah. Like let's bring it down.
Erase all memory, and then
Demolish.
hightail it out west to Camden, to Narellan, to Campbelltown. Proud rugby league areas. Proud
Magpie territory.
You go out there, mate. There's no prouder rugby league people than the people.
You know how, and I believe this to be true. Again, this could be culturally stupid of me, but in India, do they worship cows? Is that?
Yeah, I think
a certain sect of
they're sacred.
In Camden, Narellan, magpies, sacred.
Yes, they are. They are, Tom. And rugby league sacred as well.
Rugby league and magpies.
What is most sacred is a magpie holding a steed.
Yeah.
That's what I think you'll find is most sacred.
If they like magpies at rugby league games, it's like they get the cameras out like, holy shit, this is like a...
Yeah. Now, I don't want to be mean, but like,
to
again...
Who?
Well, I'm
Tigers,
just generally speaking.
Yeah.
To those listening that aren't Tigers fans, as if you aren't loving watching like Madge having to fucking defend himself every week.
Madge said,
like, I feel sorry for him, but
same,
I'm also like,
but it's rugby league.
So
it's what it's about. It's what it's about.
Yeah.
Like he hasn't. It's not like he's done anything wrong, right? He's defending the team and rugby league and all that sort of shit. We're not like stepping on someone who's like life's falling apart.
Yeah.
The Tigers though are. He did though come out, and again, if you're going to come out and say this shit, you want to be able to fucking defend it. He came out because Joey said something. Can you just find out what Joey said about Luke Brooks? Basically, I think Luke Brooks tried to get out of his contract maybe a couple of times in the offseason.
In this last offseason?
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, Joey just said something like he'll never play rep footy at the Tigers. He'll have to play it at the Knights.
Joey, then Madge says that Luke Brooks will play for the country whilst being at the Tigers. Like... He said he'll play, not only will he play rep footy, he'll play for the country.
Which country?
City country, maybe.
Are they bringing that back?
Yeah, are they? Or are you talking Group 10?
Madge organises?
Yeah, Group 10 reps. Like...
Oh, does he mean country footy? He'll play country footy.
He'll go back to the country, maybe.
Sure. Look, I can't see him winning the Australian jersey. Couple of really impressive footballers ahead of him.
People ahead of him.
Nathan Cleary,
Daly Cherry Evans, Adam Reynolds, that Schneider guy from the Raiders probably, Sam Williams of Jersey Doesn't Fit fame. Tommy Dearden.
Toby Sexton.
Chad Townsend.
Yeah.
Vinny Chase.
Vinny's ahead of him.
Vinny's way ahead of him.
Yeah.
Look, Jerome Hughes a Kiwi, but I reckon he's a shout at the Aussie.
Well,
7 job before Brooks.
I think that puts into context Jerome Hughes of Kiwi fame.
Yeah. Closer to the 7 jersey for Australia than Luke Brooks is.
Yeah. Look,
does that not put more pressure on him? Madge coming out and going, he'll play fucking, and then they come out and get absolutely...
Well, of course it puts more pressure on him.
Well, they didn't get absolutely fucked up. What was the score? Okay, who are they playing?
It was like they played the Warriors, like 16-12.
That game was a pile of shit.
Yeah.
Like the Warriors tried to let the Tigers win. It was almost like the Warriors were trying to help them. They gave them every opportunity to come back and win, and the Tigers could not do it. They just kept fucking up.
It was classic bottom 8 footy, Tom. I don't think that's breaking new ground, you know?
No.
If everyone had that penciled in as classic bottom 8 footy. You look at the fixture, you go, that's bottom 8 footy.
Yeah, that's bottom 8 footy right there.
But you tune in for bottom 8 footy because sometimes bottom 8 footy can become fuck it footy.
Sometimes bottom 8 footy can be fun footy to watch. Sometimes bottom 8 footy can make you, think that there is no God because it's so bad. But sometimes good.
Well, sometimes it can, convince you to glue shut your eyelids.
Yes.
You just go, I don't need to.
I don't need this. Pluck them out with a bloody spoon.
Yeah, I don't need them anymore.
Spoon out the eyeballs.
Spoon them out.
But listen, if you are a Tigers fan, if you are Watto, if you are any of the sort of Tigers fans that we know are just Tigers fans generally.
But also Watto.
But also specifically Watto, then, fucking tough.
Beat it.
Yeah, sorry. Look, but the thing is with the Tigers, right? This is if failure was a metric to be celebrated, they are one of the great teams of all time. They're consistent.
Look, if you're celebrating and gassing up, finishing the opposite of where you should, they're one of the great rugby league sides of all time.
They're consistent, they're almost like equal to the Dragons side of the 60s that made 11 straight grand finals.
Yes.
They're actually better. How many years has it been since 2011?
11.
It's been 11 years.
They're the modern day version.
Yeah.
But in reverse.
In reverse. They're the reverse Dragons.
Yeah, the reverse Dragons.
But like they are a team, as a side, should be celebrated for 11 straight years of finals failure, assuming quite comfortably that they fail to make it again this year.
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. Shout out to the Tigers.
Shout out to the Tigers.
Now, there's a saying, Tom, where I play my Oz tag. With a Slippery Bucks, obviously.
Yep.
Bucks love the wet. We love the wet because we win in the wet.
Yep.
I tell you who else loves the wet? Nico Hines.
Oh, yeah.
And it makes a lot of sense because he's always wet.
Always wet.
So as someone that's always wet, you could then walk out that, okay, if he loves being wet all the time, he must love playing in the wet. Turns out that theory 100% correct. He made a fucking mockery of the Dragons on Thursday night.
Yeah, saw that coming.
A rugby league mockery on Thursday night. Now, not only is Nico great and plays great in the wet, shouldn't surprise anyone. Sharks have got a bit about him, really liking the footy they're playing.
Second favourite team.
There was whispers, Tom, whispers for many moons there were whispers, that there was a bit about Craig Fitzgibbon.
Well, he's been highly touted. He's turned down many a coaching job, predominantly at the Dragons, because he was waiting for the right side.
Highly touted. Now, if someone's highly touted, pricks my ears up. And I go, okay, why is he highly touted? Better keep an eye on him. Liking what I'm seeing.
Yeah, dude. And as I said, funnily enough, he, I think, turned down multiple desperate offers from the Tigers and the Dragons. And he went, no, you know what? I'll stay as an assistant. I will hold off my dream of coaching in the NRL because I'm not going to a DMC. Now, is this an unnecessary ricochet shots at DMCs? Yes, it was, but kind of not because they both lost on the weekend. Craig comes to the Sharks. He sees a hot boy in Nico Hines. He's got McGuinness. He's got Finucane. He's got all of the Sharks forwards are pretty good as well. I like them. They've got a nice team there.
He's got Wade Graham fucking cool on the warm in the pine.
Well, Wade's still injured, isn't he? Or is
yeah, but he's waiting in the wings.
Yeah, waiting in the wings.
Is my point.
They pounded the Dragons into submission. They were the biggest bunch of fucking losers in the world, as we expected the Dragons. They made the
1.5 point line look utterly ridiculous.
Utterly ridiculous.
Matt Moylan has had one of the great turnarounds I've ever seen.
I think he just needed a coach who believed in him, Eddie.
And a seven to help him spread his wings.
To help prime him.
He needed priming.
Yeah, if you don't have a seven who with the ability to prime.
But having said that, Chad Townsend was there, who's now been fucking great.
Yeah, but Chad, that was Chad and Jimmy Maloney. I don't think Moylan was there when they won in 2006.
But I'm saying wasn't Chad there last year?
Yeah, then they fucked him off to the Warriors and Sean Johnson was there.
Oh, he was at that's right. Good point.
Yeah. They were all at sea last year.
They were all at sea. I forgot about Sean.
Yeah, they got rid of John Morris at the start of the season. They had Josh Hannay, caretaker coach, one of the all-time great caretaker coaches. But it was still a bit chaotic. Now you got a nice, settled, bald Craig on your hands.
So bald.
But
so settled.
Settled.
Bald people generally settled.
If you have a settled Craig as your coach, Craig Bellamy, Craig Fitzgibbon.
Yep. Toby Rudolph as well.
Toby Rudolph, not bald, not a Craig, not settled, but a good player.
My point exactly.
Yeah.
My sentiment shit.
An unsettled Toby is what you want.
You want him as unsettled as possible. You want him playing renegade footy.
Yeah.
You know? Eyes up, playing off instinct and passion alone.
And you know, just a distinct lack of settled.
You want him unsettled. You know why you want him unsettled? Because he makes others unsettled, as in the opposition.
Yeah, not his teammates.
No.
But it'd be good if they were unsettled as well.
Well, rugby league is a balance between being unsettled and settled.
Unsettled, yeah.
It really is.
A Goldilocks zone, if you will.
Like you want your halves settled, but you want your front rowers unsettled.
Unsettled.
You want them unhinged.
Yeah. You want your kickers settled.
Yes.
But, you want maybe your hard-running edge back rower unsettled.
Yes, you do. You also want your centers unsettled, I think.
A little bit.
You need to be unsettled to defend.
Yeah. Well, you need to be settled as well.
Yeah, but also unsettled.
It's a balance, man.
Because you don't want to be nervous.
No, you don't.
Or scared or apprehensive.
But you could say that nerves come from not being settled.
To a degree, but if you're too settled, you've got too much time to think about it.
Yeah, exactly. You become...
You don't want to think about James Tamalolo, for example, running at you.
No, you don't. You just want to be...
You don't want to give that moment time to fester in the mind.
And there's something unhinged about throwing yourself recklessly at James Tarmout. You need to be unhinged in that moment.
Yeah, Payne Haas is running at me and I'm going to throw my body at him.
Watch me chop him in half.
Yeah, you need to be unsettled to do that. Unsettled. But also, being settled in defence, particularly as a half, allows you to not lose your inside or outside man and allow the big boys to run through.
Listen, are we getting X's and O's with things that we don't understand? Maybe a little bit. I think the main takeaway from this round is that Manly's back, the Storm are nowhere, the Roosters are nowhere. Roosters got pounded by Souths. Fuck you, mate, Roosters.
There's
Tigers, Dragons, exactly where we thought they'd be.
Rugby league football. You just love it because at the start of the season, I'll be honest, I was guilty of it. There is a certain mystique around the Roosters that exists whether you like it or not. Now, do I like the Roosters as a side? No, I fucking don't. They're pathetic. But the players I like, I also like their coach. I like the setup.
A lot about
I like a lot about the Roosters. But I hate the club, but everything else I quite like.
Yeah.
You see photos of Victor Radley and Angus Crichton and Luke Keary training in the pouring rain, and you're like, holy shit, bro. These motherfuckers are going to do the damn thing this year. Then they come out and look as pathetic as a rugby league side has ever looked against the Knights, got pounded into the earth. Then they turn around and play one of the best games of rugby league ever played against Manly.
They like that game is being, that whole game's being turned into an NFT. They're like, that's the greatest a team's ever played against Manly.
Ever played. And then they come out against the Rabbitohs and they roll out poo again.
Yeah.
Now, if you're a Pattonist, and I am, I think they win this week and win well.
Yeah.
And then they'll lose the week after.
And then they'll lose the week after.
Yeah.
But a lot of Lippy Roosters fans are coming at Manly, right? Just firstly, obviously, when they played the greatest game of all time against a Manly side that basically didn't even care because it was preseason. But a lot of Lippy Roosters fans come out. Now, I wouldn't want to be the person to draw their attention to it, but I believe if you look at the fucking ladder, we're both on one win for the season. So I'd be very careful, Roosters fans. Everyone had just premiership favourites. You look like a pile of wet, soggy turds.
Yeah, you do. You look like wet, soggy turds. Panthers look unbelievable.
Panthers look very good. Again, puts into context our round one loss when we weren't even really caring about it. We're basically 3 from 3.
But it's funny, right? Because the Panthers look so good and everyone... But then when we lost to them round one, they're like, oh, you lost to the fucking Panthers. It's like, hang on. What's going on here? Yeah. I'm confused.
Anyway, so round 3 takeaways, Eddie.
Well, there's one big takeaway. Manly's here.
Manly's here. We're here. Boys are back.
Boys are back in the points.
Yeah. Tell you what.
Off the bottom of the ladder. From 16th to 15th.
From 16th to 15th. Who is coming 15th?
16th.
Tigers.
What Tigers haven't won a game?
Of course. Now, just while we wrap Rugby League for KO, Kieran Foran's ball to Ruben Garrick for his try is the greatest expression of nut on chest I've ever seen.
It was so well executed, so dastardly in its conception, so outrageous in its execution.
Yeah.
Some good judges, Tom. Some good judges, you know, your Joeys, your Maddies, your Lockiers, your Fittlers, your Hello Sports, are calling it the greatest regular season pass of all time.
Let that sink in. The greatest regular season pass of all time and the perfect exemplification of nutting on a chest that anyone's ever seen.
Yeah. I mean, it's in the dictionary.
Yeah.
What is nutting on a chest?
What's nutting on a chest look like?
It's Kieran Foran to Ruben Garrick when he cuts out 2 men in round 3 against the Bulldogs on a rainy but new Brookvale Oval.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
He's pulled out
his hog and he's nutted on a chest. Ruben's chest. Loaded him up. Covered him. Coated him. And he scores a great try. Because there's still work to do.
Bruh, on half time.
Was there work to do?
Yeah.
And did he ice the kick afterwards?
And then he iced the kick afterwards.
Kid can play.
Kick from the left, kick from the right. Ruben Garrick, kick him all night.
Now, did I have Ruben to fucking score a try? Better believe it. Got $2. So there's that.
There is that.
There's that. But
that's rugby league.
They're the takeaways.
For KO.
Thanks to KO. Shout out to KO. We love you, KO. KO's always got our back. KO the best. If you want to watch rugby league this season, if you're going to watch rugby league, you got to watch it on KO. Why?
Only place to watch rugby
and
league.
Uninterrupted, ad-free, during play on KO. They've got the best commentators, got the best graphics, they've got the best before, the best after. KO. Don't get it twisted. It's KO. Don't get it twisted.
It's KO. Don't get twisted.
It's KO.
Eddie, there was a lot going on the weekend, sports-wise.
Yeah,
obviously, I believe it was Friday night, it must have been, but there was cricket on, there was AFL on, the Rugby League had already finished, and basically you got to watch Rugby League and then you got to flick over, and if you were like me, you had KO, of which we've sucked off greatly already on the show. KO cricket, KO AFL, 2 screens, all the split screen feature, a tremendous feature, but basically within a couple of minutes of each other, you got to see Paddy Cummins take the final pole for the series win in Pakistan, and we will get to that game. But you also got to see Lance Buddy Bud Franklin kick his 1,000th AFL goal and then get absolutely mobbed by everyone running on the field.
It was a special sporting moment. There's no other way to describe it. AFL and me get on pretty well. We're not best mates, but we get on pretty well.
You get on well enough.
We get on well enough.
You say good day when you see each other 100%. In the street.
We'll sit down, we'll have a couple of beers together.
Yeah.
But the running onto the ground for 100 goals in a season or for 1,000 goals is a great sporting tradition.
Yes, it is.
Doesn't matter which way you want to slice it or dice it. It's fucking good to see. And they're saying may never happen again, 1,000 goals in a season. I don't know. Maybe the game's changed.
Yeah, I think. And also the quarters are shorter.
Right.
Because they're a bunch of pussies. But so that may not happen again. It was great to see. And we are just about to talk to the guy who took the catch of Buddy's 1,000th goal. Just so you know, will have already been at the Swans today. This was recorded in the morning. So we got him on to talk about taking the hanger and then the night ensued.
It shouldn't surprise anyone that the bloke that took the hanger is a dribbler.
We were the first people he contacted. We actually didn't release the video because he said they wanted to just... You'll hear it in the conversation.
You will hear it in the conversation. But I'll tell you what, mate, of course, Buddy kicks 4 at the SCG to get it done in front of the home fans.
Yeah.
It was poetry in motion. It really was.
Yep.
And that mobbing he got was unfucking believable.
Yeah, it was hectic.
So good to see. Now, what has put a dampener on things a little bit, Tom, is some of the old conservative fucking ancient boomer voices that are like, that was disgraceful, there wasn't enough security, they were fearing for their lives. Buddy's come out being like, no, I wasn't.
I was good.
Absolutely fine.
Yeah. I was getting mobbed, but it was fine.
You're talking a lot of shit.
I think in the moment when it was happening, there was a couple moments where you're like, oh, God, he is at the will of the mob here, in the sense that, after a while, he was like, all right, I got to get the fuck out of here. And he just started pounding through motherfuckers. But, it seemed like they kept trying to lift him up and he kept getting pulled down. I was like, can we get this man lifted up and chaired off the ground? That would look dope.
He should have been chaired off the ground or at least crowd
surfed along.
Just pass Buddy along.
Yeah, let's just move Bud along here. Many hands make light work.
He probably didn't want that necessarily because, a fear of getting his
junk grabbed.
It would have got grabbed many times.
It would have been grabbed. It would have been grabbed if it wasn't already. But how about that fucking... I don't know how I feel about it. I think I don't mind, but that one of the people that ran on like sprinkled their nan's ashes on the ground?
It would. I don't know. It's a weird one, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know.
Could they not have just done that? Like, did they need to do it when Buddy scored the 1,000th? Maybe that's why they did it then.
Well, that's 100% why they did it then. Maybe it was just like, how are we going to get on the SCG otherwise?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Whatever. It's like,
yeah,
it's a bit of a whatever for me. I can see why some people would get a bit funny about that though. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You know, like dead people.
You are sprinkling a dead body onto
Yeah. I can see how people would get a bit fucking, ooh, that's a bit weird.
Yeah.
But it doesn't upset me at all. I'm like, that's pretty funny. And if your grandparent or dad or whatever is like one of the biggest AFL dribblers of all time, that would be a great
way to do
them.
it. Yes, exactly.
Like they're watching down going, yes, thank you very much.
That's well played. I guess the problem would be long term. Well, I mean, again, this doesn't happen all the time, so it's not really that big of an issue, but just like,
it doesn't happen enough.
It doesn't happen enough for it to be like, oh, next time everyone's going to come on with their ashes.
And again, I still don't think that this sets like some dangerous ashes precedent where, you've still got to be a certain type of cat to do that.
Yes, agreed.
Like I would feel weird about doing it.
I wouldn't do it. But that doesn't mean that...
Like taking them to the footy.
Well, but you don't have anyone in our life that you'd want to do that for.
That's a good point.
Because if you did, then you would, maybe.
Well, do you want me to sprinkle you on Brookie?
Yeah, I do. Or across Tommy Turbo's hog, if you'll allow it. Just on the tip.
Well, you wouldn't be able to. It wouldn't get...
You wouldn't even make a dent, bro.
You wouldn't make a dent. You wouldn't
That's
get
all right. Yeah, it'd be like the eye of Sauron getting over to the edge or an event horizon.
You wouldn't get over the edge. No way. But look, if you want me to do that for you, buddy, I'll sprinkle you on Brookie.
No, Tommy's hog. What about a bit of everything?
Well, a bit here and a bit there.
A bit here, a bit there.
I can do a bit here, a bit there. Obviously, we got to,
we got to get like
from Tommy.
Yeah. We got to get some like.
But I think Brookie would be pretty comfortable with
that.
Yeah,
no, they'd be cool. Well, I think Brookie'd probably want to put on some sort of like a do.
What, like a Driffs concert or something?
Well, no, because I wouldn't be alive.
I know, but you'd be replaced.
Oh, a hologram.
Like Bon Jovi was.
Bon Jovi's not dead.
Scott.
Bon Scott. Oh, okay, you get a new guy. Certainly could do that. But, some sort of huge thing for me. Some dude, fireworks, all that shit.
Pyrotechnics. Yeah. Nothing like pyrotechnics to jazz up any rugby league moment.
What I did think was interesting or funny was how, like, I was reading some articles where it was like, the crowd and everything around the whole Buddy thing was like, oh man, that's a shot in the arm for AFL in Sydney. Like if our rugby league club, be wigging out and all sort of shit. And I'm like, it was great. The Buddy thing was awesome. It was we'll get international coverage. It was awesome. Like visuals, the optics, Eddie, were fantastic.
Yeah, great optics.
But if you think for a goddamn second that 99% of those people who rushed Buddy weren't just like millennials who wanted a fucking TikTok moment, you're off your head. Like, I don't think that anyone really, and this is no disrespect to the achievement, to Buddy, but I don't think any of them really gave a fuck about the gravity of the moment. They just wanted a TikTok. That all phones, all about them. And I know that's the world we live in. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying let's be real about what that was.
Well, I think it's probably, if you look back through history, even when the great Tony Ablett, like Plugger.
Keep going. What else you got?
Plugger kicked his 13.
Tony Ablett, Plugger. Tony Lockett's who you're looking for. Tony Abbott, former Prime Minister. Gary Ablett Senior. Is Gary Ablett's dad.
Combine them all. That's what I'm thinking of.
Tony Ablett.
When he cooked his 1300th, right?
Tony Ablett Jr.
When he kicked his 1300th.
1300th? Or his 1000th?
Goals. Well, he kicked 1,000, then he kicked 1300 as well when he broke the record.
Yeah.
It wasn't... The flooding onto the ground wasn't the same as the Lance one. Now, is that because Lance is more beloved, or is it because people wanted to get the fucking their moment?
Yeah,
their video. I think probably the latter.
I think it's probably the latter. I think everyone, like when I was grabbing dinner in Darlinghurst on Friday night. Sushi on Stanley. Shout out to it. Greatest sushi in the game.
Cheap.
Well, yeah, it's good price.
Good and cheap.
But good. I go for good first when I'm coming to sushi. You don't want cheap to be your option because if you go cheap if that's your concern,
I know what you mean. I merely was saying that it is well priced.
Oh, it's fantastically well priced. I was there and I saw so many, RM Williams toting AFL jersey under your fucking linen shirt, scarf sort of operators, and I'm like, this is a lot more than just for an average Sydney Swans game in Sydney. Sort of there was a hum. Now, obviously, Buddy's kicking his 1,000th, so you're going to go. But I just got the vibe. There's a lot of people being like, probably didn't give a fuck about AFL all that much, but they want to go there for the buddy, the buddy.
Well, 100%. It's 100% what it would have been.
Which is cool, but what I'm saying is to the point that you and I are making and making very well, I might add.
Sure.
I'm not worried from a rugby league perspective.
That's all you're saying.
Yeah.
And I get it. Has Buddy converted people into full-time AFL dick riders? Probably not.
No, I don't think so. I think they have now climbed off of the AFL PP.
And back onto
the rugby league shaft.
Yeah, that's right.
If anything, I think he's kind of almost doomed AFL just to be like, well, that was the greatest thing we'll all see in our lifetime. Now there's no point watching.
Yeah, what's the point? I'm not going to be able to run on the field again.
Yeah.
Right. That's the crescendo.
They wanted to run on the field. But either way, the scenes were great. It was hectic. Let's now go to the dribblers who were there.
Front and centre.
Matt, Alex. Matt took the hanger. Alex was filming it. They're now everywhere. They've probably done a million fucking bits of media. This was recorded before they went to the Swans and they have done the ceremonial returning of the ball. Let's get into it. Edward, obviously on the weekend, and you and I huge fucking AFL buffs, Buddy kicked his 1,000th goal. I think only 5 other people have done it. But I think what everyone was more taken by from the weekend was the dribbler who took a fucking hanger over some, 65-year-old woman in the crowd.
Yeah.
No eyes for anyone but the football.
Just wanted the footy, needed the footy. Was about the footy, Tom.
Took a screamer, fell into the chairs. I don't know how many rows he jumped over, but fucked himself up a little bit. 5 or 6. Proceeds to then get up and be like, I've got the pill. Let's get the fuck out of here now. We've got the 2 dribblers who were involved in this event.
I'm assuming camera guy and hanger taker?
I assume so. Cameraman and taker of the hanger, Matt and Alex. Welcome, gentlemen. How are you?
Yeah, great. And it's awesome to be on the show, guys. Love your work.
Thank you very much. I'm sure this is a huge day for you. Obviously, taking Buddy's ball was one thing.
Well, that's one thing, Tom, but this is quite another.
Yeah. Who knows what journey life will take you on? One night you just go into the AFL, the next minute you're here talking to Tom and Eddie.
Yeah, that's right, mate. Well, my mug's everywhere now, so everyone knows who I am. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but considering how rotten the mug is, I'd say probably a bad thing.
Did you go to the footy with every intention of taking a screamer? Was that what the night was supposed to be about for you?
Yeah, no, I was definitely going to swallow it. I mean, I was telling myself, I get a look at it. It's in my paws and it's not going anywhere else. We were in the fucking hot seats too all night. We were getting peppered with a few goals every now and then we sort of just got lucky. That last one just coming straight at us, and there was no way Wheelgy was letting that one go. Did
you as soon as you got it, did you bail? Were you like, let's get the fuck out of here?
The footage says let's get out of here, but Kingo the idiot suggested that I got back onto the field, so I went in there for a couple of shimmies and a couple of handballs to myself, and then I ran into another, and he goes, mate, all kidding, get the fuck out of here. So I hit toe. He ushered me out of the stadium, and then I ended up on Moore Park Road pretty quickly, and just got to find a cab. A couple of cabs went past with no light, and I went, oh no, just get me home. Anyway, I jump in the cab, and the bloke goes, where are you off to? And I said, Queen's Park. So obviously live very close. And he said, mate, surely you're going to walk that? And I said, not tonight, mate, not tonight.
Precious cargo, mate.
Yeah. How did you actually get it out? Did you jam it up your shirt or something?
Yeah. Well, actually what happened, when I got out there and I spoke to the mate, there was a Geelong Cats fan that tried to snatch it. And
bullshit.
No, I'm not even joking. It was a younger girl. I didn't get much look on her because I was just
a younger girl. You have to hip and shoulder her out of the way.
Yeah. Drop the shoulder.
No, I gave her the big don't argue and got out of there. So,
palmed some 12-year-old
Palmed in the face. No, baby. Not today. Not for buddies.
So then once you did, like, because you DM'd us that night and I was like, holy shit, that's so hectic. And I was like, what are you guys going to do? You were like, listen, we just want to have a good night with the ball and then make decisions tomorrow. What did you do?
Yeah, so we got, and obviously there was some serious shock, and the guy that actually set up, and there was all sorts of weird behaviours happening. Licking each other, maybe a couple of kisses of the pill.
Oh, brilliant.
Go out. So we went up to the Robin Hood up the road. Great pub for a bit of tranny karaoke. And anyways, we put down Holy Grail by Hunters and Collectors to sing, but we didn't get up there, and I think we were pretty paranoid about the pill, so we came home and went the night.
So who spent the night with the pill?
Just me and the pill. Wheels in the pill.
So,
a passionate night,
you
no doubt.
you didn't take the pill to karaoke, did you?
No.
Fuck no.
He went through another kick-ons, and he suggested taking us. Not a fucking chance is that happening.
So what's the future of the pill? Are you hanging on to it, or do the Swans want it back?
You're going to the Swans today, aren't you?
Yeah, we are going to the Swans, so we'll be there in the next hour or so. I've got my hands. I'm actually holding the pill as we speak.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And what's going to become of it?
Yeah, you don't have to necessarily disclose specific numbers, but I'd be shocked if you're not at least under the table getting something.
Yeah, a couple of milli, I reckon he's early to go. But no, mate, at the end of the day, I want to get it back to the Swannies. I think it deserves to be there, and you want to sort of see the young kids cherish that ball going forward. So I'd rather have it up there. I mean, they're going to help me out with some perks and memorabilia or whatever else. People are probably going, you're going to get shortchanged, but it's not really about the money for me at the end of the day. And I don't think I could deal with being public enemy number one forever.
True, asking for like $500,000 for this ball. It's like the Swans go, come on.
Yeah,
dude.
look, mate. Come on. Let's be honest about what it's worth. Worth $1 million.
Well, they're probably almost, and you won't admit it, Will, but they're probably going, listen, like you can ask for money, and we'll just blast you online for the next 6 months, or you can just give it back. Yeah. It's like, yeah.
Yeah. Wanted, and just a photo of his face. Yeah.
Before every game.
Yeah. Mate, I think you made the smart decision, an honest decision, a respectable decision.
Yes. Are you now getting like pounded in the ass? Obviously, you could claim we're media, but just by like everyone in the world trying to talk to you, like pulling you every direction?
We've got, I reckon we've had every news channel, every radio station, every newspaper wants to get a piece. It's been absolutely flat chatty. You should have seen Saturday. It was like a war room over at my house. The amount of calls.
Dude, maybe you're going to, I'd be trying to parlay this into like a Dancing with the Stars cameo, well, mate, you know what I mean? You're like, get some reality TV deal out of this.
Mate, we might be thinking maybe towards like a bit of a Pilot Health, maybe a bit of I've got the pill.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, very
I like that. Let's play that into a pilot.com.au/Hello Sport promo code Dribblers.
Yeah, love that. Love that.
Not bad.
Look, it was a hell of a fucking hanger you took. Has there been any interest for some clubs? Maybe a VFL club for you to fucking whack the boots on?
Mate, well, we will get down to Swans training, I think maybe Monday on Tuesday, and we might give the boys a bit of a run around, show them how it's done. But we'll see where that takes us. We'll see what Johnny Longmire thinks of the catch, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, give Horse a tape of your highlights, which is, I assume, only going to include that. And I think,
I've got on pretty good authority
chance
that he's pretty happy with what he sees.
Now, listen, if you're getting pounded by media today, if you can drop Hello Sport into as many fucking interviews as possible, then we'll kick you more merch than the bloody Swans will, I can tell you that. If you don't do it, that's fine. That's on you. You've got to look at yourself in the mirror every day.
You got to live with that decision.
You got to live with that, but for every time you drop Hello Sport, then, it's like a feature on in the pokies.
God will smile favourably on you.
And you let us know when they are. We'll find them, or we'll see them. People will show us, and then you're going to get basically just drowned in merch.
Drowned in riches, Tom.
Yeah.
We could probably say 3 or 4 references in there for you.
I think you can, dude. I think you can do it.
5 or 6 is what you meant.
Yeah. All right, boys. Look, we'll let you go and talk to Carl Stefanovic and Ali Langdon and whoever else you got, Koshy and Mel and the fucking rest of them. But thanks for coming on anyway, and well done. That was a hell of a catch.
No drama. Thanks, boys. We love your work.
Cheers. Good on you, boys.
Thanks,
Take
boys.
it easy.
Later. Bye.
Eddie, just quickly, we obviously won the cricket.
We did.
Just quickly as well, Scotty Chef won the golf. So, bang. That was kind of like the end of a 15-day test. I like that. I hadn't really thought of it until sort of, I guess, people were saying it. But like 2 draws, final session, day 5 of the third test.
After an aggressive declaration from Skip.
Yes, which everyone was like...
I'm like, finally, bro.
Yeah.
Finally, we have a fucking crack at the W here.
Rather than just trying to bat him out of the game.
350, it was chaseable. They got to stumps on day 4, none for 78-ish off the top of the dome, Tom. That leaves 280 odd, 277, whatever it was, to chase in the final day. Doable. Doable.
Yes.
You know?
And they had batsmen who had runs in them.
Runs in the batsmen who are at the crease and go out there and do the damn thing. And you know what? Australia steps the fuck up and gets our first Asian win in a long time.
Yeah. And I was listening to...
Series win.
friends of the show, the great cricketer, and...
Dear friends.
They were just sort of the only way that game was going to get a result was an aggressive declaration so that the Pakistani batsmen were playing shots that they needed to play.
Otherwise, you just defend that fucker into the earth. Yeah, 100%. You want them playing their shots. You want to invite stroke play, Tom.
Exactly. And invite they did, and get them we did. It was great. And then Gazza fucking lying, bruh. Yeah, when he needed to. He's let us down in the past, but 4th innings, needed scalps, took scalps.
But he knew that going in. He was like, I'm going to be expected to take big wickets here, big scalps.
Well, has to, though. Like, he's fucking...
Has to. Like, got close in the second test. Like, took 4 wickets, I think. Did he?
Yeah, 3 or 4.
Like, had a crack, but we just, time was against us, as it were.
Again, because we took too long to declare.
100,000%. But the aggressive declaration here sets up the game for old Blue Eyes and for Lion to get the job done.
Yeah. And then Paddy just to absolutely explode those stumps for the final wicket.
Now, did Cam Baggy-Green win man of the match?
No, he got all-rounder for the match. So it's funny, you see there, they've got like just a million different ways to jam a sponsor in. So it's like all-rounder of the match.
He got all-rounder of the match?
He got all-rounder of the match.
Because I saw that and I'm like...
I put that up because it was a funny tweet. Let me shout this motherfucker out. I enjoyed it. So he goes, this is Jack Cronin at JACKK Cronin on Twitter. Cam Green now with more Inverex Solar Energy All-Rounder of the Match awards than Stokes, Flintoff, Callis and Sobers combined. Massive for his legacy. That's
so dribbly.
So dribbly. I don't know who got man of the match, though. Maybe Lion for the 5-far?
Oh, I know Uzi got man of the series.
Man of the series.
He might have got man of the match.
Which is hectic. Uzi just plunged. Dude, he almost had like 5 fucking centuries.
Yeah, I know.
He got out 3 times in the 90s.
3 times, I think.
Like, whatever. I would have loved tons, but it was actually just great. A great, like, sort of part of the whole thing was that he's gone over to Pakistan, first time ever. He's a Pakistani native and gets man of the series and just pounds him into the fucking ground.
His resurgence, his second coming, or third coming, whatever it is now. I can't remember what coming
Let's
we're up
just
to.
call it the second coming.
Second coming of Uzi's been unbelievable.
He averages in the 90s as an opener. And then I think he averages in the 90s.
He was on the trash pile.
Yeah.
And through a weight of shield runs.
I think the late Justin Langer
rendered
him there.
I think the late Justin Langer did put him on the trash pile. But through a weight of runs that couldn't be ignored in the shield aspect of the game, Tom. Comes back into the side and just fucking rips and tears and goes, fuck the lot of you.
Yep.
I'm here to stay. Try and get rid of me now, bro.
Yeah, at least for a few more years because I am 35. But anyway.
You know what I mean.
I do know what you mean. I absolutely know
but
what you mean.
But he's a young 35-year-old.
Oh, yeah, he's a young 35-year-old.
Like, eye testing him, running the eyeballs.
Like, you're an old 30-year-old.
Correct.
you look old, you know. I'm a young 32-year-old. You're an old 31-year-old. You look older than me. But, you know, Uzi looks younger than both of us, and he's 35.
Correct.
But you look older than both of us.
Depends on the light.
You look older than me and Uzi.
Depends on the light.
And me and Uzi both look younger than you.
Depends on the light.
But Uzi also looks younger than me.
Uzi looks 26.
Yeah. I'm probably a 27. You're about a 35. I'd say you're about a 35.
I reckon I look 29.
No,
you look 30.
You look 35, 36. Like, you look like you probably have maybe 6 kids.
Like, if you told the punter and the dribbler that your 40th was this weekend, no one would be surprised.
Well, I certainly don't think they'd be surprised with you because you look 40. With me, they'd be like, wow, dude, fuck, he looks good for 40. Whereas for you, they'd be like, yeah, that seems about right. That's what they'd say. It seems about right for you. They'd be shocked for me.
You know I've got youthful skin.
Oh, I don't.
You've got psoriasis.
No. Well, that's not an age thing, though. Like, I had psoriasis in my 20s. Nah, I had that in my 20s. So that's more like an autoimmune thing that, like, you know, you had to go low because you're so old. That's what happens. I think that's cricket, though.
Well, hang on. I just want to throw this stat at you. So England just lost their test and series to West Indies.
Love it.
That was their 5th consecutive test series loss. They've won one of their last 17 test matches.
What is wrong with these fucking beaters? No disrespect to the West Indies, but how do you lose to them?
You suck.
Yeah.
You come down to Australia and you get pounded again and all your confidence goes. That's what happens.
But to the West Indies, no disrespect.
Surely Joe Root has to give it away, the captaincy.
Well, but I don't think I think the reality is that there isn't actually anyone else good to give it to.
But like,
it's not about the captaincy as much as it's about cattle. I think it's a cattle situation.
Surely Stokes can do it.
I think Stokes isn't in that great a form, and he also is. You know, I don't know. I think maybe he's got some skellies in the closet,
and he's a Kiwi.
And he's a Kiwi.
He's got
prone
skellies.
To punching people. Like, I don't know about like bad skellies, not like necessarily real skellies, but
skellies.
Skellies nonetheless.
Skellies are skellies.
Yeah, skellies are skellies.
Just like wellies are wellies.
Wellies are wellies, skellies are skellies. Fucking don't make us repeat it. So I don't know. I think that, like, a lot of people are just like, no, we just have shit cattle. But it's good at least that they left out Broad and Anderson for the whole fucking series, didn't they? To bring in some new bowlers.
Well, look, they need to blood some new talent.
While they've still got 2 of the greatest bowlers of all time,
Well, obviously for England, it's not about wins.
No.
And it's about blooding new losers.
Yeah.
That's clearly what
Give losers a crack. That's their motto.
Let's lose while giving losers a go.
Ours is elite honesty, or it was under the late, great Tussin Langer. Theirs is give losers a crack.
Yeah.
Whilst losing.
So shout out to England for being as pathetic as we all knew you were.
Yeah, you're a bunch of fucking losers giving losers a crack, and we love it. Eddie, as some of the punters and dribblers may have noticed last week, you and I caught up with one of our good mates, chums, UFC featherweight champion, Alexander Volkanovski.
Look, he's a dear friend.
He's a dear friend.
He's a dear friend.
You know, we had a good little laugh with him. We tricked him. He thought he choked me out. That video went global, essentially. One of the great videos, they were calling it. One of the funniest fucking...
Really happy with that
executions of, you know, a giggle and a dribble and a yarn that anyone's ever seen.
It was good.
Rocked him to his core. Thought he'd killed me.
But he took it well.
He did take it well.
He took it like a featherweight champion of the world.
Yeah.
You know?
Took it like a champ.
Took it like a champion. Genuinely, though, one of the most humble, down-to-earth, relaxed, cool motherfuckers I've ever met.
Yeah.
Just from humble beginnings, becomes a champion, but has remained humble.
That's it. We flew down whatever the road is, Eddie, down to the Gong, down to his gym in Warilla.
Wodonga?
No, I don't know. We were there though. We went down there.
Know that.
Went down to the gym.
15 minutes south of Wollongong.
Thank you to KO and to UFC. We do have a potty coming out with him in, so his fight's Korean Zombie on the 10th of April.
Sunday week.
Windang.
There we go.
Windang Road or Windang. That was an ad from back in the day. Sorry for anyone who doesn't live in the Southern Highlands or didn't in the 90s. Yeah, so he's fighting Korean Zombie 10th of April. We're down there. So the potty we did with him will drop the week that, was it next week?
It'll drop next week.
It'll drop next week. But yeah, it was very cool, very fun, lovely to do. Hopefully do more UFC shit moving forward because obviously we're big dick riders for everything UFC. Did you watch Timmy Zoo yesterday?
I missed it, but I watched the highlights.
I watched it and I was jaw to the floor. I was sure.
Well, you mentioned we'd been like, bruh, Timmy just got dropped in the first.
Dude,
It was like,
dropped. I was like, he
Timmy.
got fucking cracked.
We got caught.
He got caught, all right, but he got hit. But he has a chin on him. He got back up and then sort of like he was clearly fucking rattled, and he got pounded a couple of times after he got up, or at least the old mate poured it on him a bit. But he still kind of came back in that round. You're like, Jesus Christ. I was like, oh no, is this the one that everyone's been just, we've been all on this Timmy Zoo hype train and he's going to get stopped in his US debut in the first round? I was just like, please, God.
That would have been fucking devastating.
Don't do this to me.
Because he's been talking about going to America for the longest time.
Well, but it's always the thing, right? You do your pound plumbers in Australia, then you go to the bright lights of the US and you take on some real motherfuckers.
And things can change quick.
Things can change
Ask
quick.
Jeff Horn.
Yeah.
But they didn't change
for Timmy Zoo. Well, he just came back. He was just brutal, and I don't know enough to give any real opinion. Everyone always talks about his power. I just haven't seen him. He landed some monster shots, and I just haven't seen him like flatline someone, which I would love to see. But I just don't know whether and leave comments. Let me know because I don't know. But is he a power guy or is he just because he's got his gas tank's fucking crazy. He just walked forward the whole fight, just poured it on him. I was like getting tired watching it, thinking like the other guy was like, this guy will not fucking stop coming forward at me. Is that more his game or does he have power? Because I do like knockouts.
Don't we all?
But that doesn't matter. He won, and I think he's now waiting for, I think he's the mandatory for the next.
That's what I heard. Yeah, I heard he was a mandatory. Dior might be able to confirm that for us.
There's two dudes who have got to fight. I think it's Jamel Charlo and someone else, but I could be wrong. But they're fighting for all the belts. So next fight, if it does go the way, he'll be fighting for the undisputed.
Oh, really?
I believe so.
And he's mandatory. Has to be him.
I believe
because
so.
There can be mandatories in different belts
and all that shit. So I don't know.
So he's the mandatory challenger to Castano, the Argentinian dude. But it does say he has to wait until at least the middle of 2022 for a shot at the belt.
Yeah, because they fight in June, I think. Castano and Charlo?
Then he's got to wait till...
Castano's fighting... It says February 26th.
Well, that doesn't make sense, does it?
Maybe that was his last
That fight might have been pushed. Who was he fighting in February 26th?
Charlo.
Yeah, so that fight got pushed to June, I think, because of an injury or something.
Right, so then he's got to wait probably to the end of the year.
Yep.
Right, okay.
But that's fine. I mean, it was a brutal fucking fight. Like it's again, I know I've said this, but it's just what a way to earn a living. It's just ridiculous. So these people are just getting the shit punched out of them. It's just like, ugh. Good on ya. Well done. Well done, Timmy. Good win. A lot of heart to come back from that first round knockdown and do the damn thing.
That's right. Did we talk about Sonny Bill and Barry Hall last week?
I don't know if we did talk about that, but that was...
Because we recorded on Wednesday. It was Wednesday night.
Yeah,
that's right.
That was...
It was, you know what? It was everything that you could have asked for and more. Well, expected and more.
Yeah.
It was cross-code, retiree.
Yeah.
Barry's almost 50. Sonny Bill looking fucking as hot as ever.
So good.
Gets in there and absolutely murks Barry Hall. And you're watching going, oh, of course this is what's happening.
Yes, of course.
Of course he's dropped him inside of a minute twice. Like, of course that's what's going on. Sonny Bill looks fucking unbelievable.
Yeah.
Barry Hall...
No disrespect.
He hurt his ribs and his back and shit in SAS. Like, he was a mess in SAS, let alone in a ring, in a professional bout.
With the former New Zealand heavyweight champion in Sonny Bill Williams.
Just ridiculous from top to bottom.
Yeah.
Well done for getting $50 out of us. That's impressive.
Yeah, that was impressive.
You know what? Because it was impressive. There was some all right padding fights around it. Danny Green getting weirder and funnier as he gets older.
Dude,
bro.
that was great. I love Danny Green as like a roving commentator with his long hair now. I'm like, Danny Green with long hair.
Is that a mullet?
It's a mullet, and I think he just had it slicked back real nice.
I like that slick back. George Kambosos Jr. was a nice touch.
He's a weapon. He's a weapon across the board. Obviously, he can box his dick off, but he's also cool and he can talk.
But he's cool, bro.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, dude, you're an alpha.
Yeah.
You're really cool.
You're a cool alpha dude.
You're very cool and you're an alpha, and that's making you cooler.
Yeah, you're a cool alpha dude who's getting cooler because of how cool an alpha you already are.
It's just you're in a cycle of coolness.
Yeah. Your
quit.
coolness only increases exponentially because you're a cool dude who's alpha.
I thought, Tom, at the start of the year that there would be no chance Galen would fight Sonny Bill Williams. I'm starting to think
there could be.
This could be like a Christmas present for us all, like a December.
Because they were like, they were they had their moment after the fight where they talked.
Yes, which was like, is this like a Mayweather, Pacquiao moment?
Well, Gal was there in head-to-toe sponsorship attire, which made me think that it was, not made me think, which clearly means that he was there for that moment after the fight. I'm here wearing like a fucking, some electricians or tradies or like truck company or, demolition company's T-shirt and hat at ringside. And then after Sonny wins, he comes down and they shake hands and they fucking, how's it going? Yeah, let's do it. If they don't do it, it's one of the great just wall pull blue
Why would you leave that much money on the table? For what purpose?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, Sonny's back. He's getting more polished. So it's not like he's got ring rust. Give him one more fight and then make him fight at the end of the year. And get all the tongues wagging.
Get all of the tongues flipping and flapping. If you aren't watching About Even Punters Dribblers, just before we get to the Dribbles, it's the number one betting show on earth. Obviously, we know that. But the ace up our sleeve that no one else has is Michael Pride.
The rate at which he picks golf winners is fucking disgusting. And they're all paying like $25 plus.
Yeah. He picked the win the last 2 weeks.
And I think he picked one a couple of weeks before that.
Yeah.
So, it's ridiculous. And it's also the most fun show.
Well, it's obviously a fun betting show, which is a difference. But to also be able... Obviously, you pair 3 dribblers like you, me, and Sebo...
With a pro.
And I mean, hilarity ensues. We are almost into our new set, our new studio as well, and About Even obviously getting a facelift there. So all exciting things to come. David, should we get to dribbling my bra?
I think we should.
Tom, Eddie, Dior, punters and dribblers, it's a stats man. Don Bradman's test career was interrupted by World War II. When he resumed playing after the war, aged over 35, he played 15 more test matches and averaged 105 per innings. Usman's Khawaja recent return into the test team has been after his 30th birthday. Khawaja has played 5 tests so far and he's averaging 125 per innings. Be soon.
Love that stat.
Wow.
Statsman's a motherfucker, dude.
I love Statsman, dude. I love it when he calls up so much. I wish, he usually calls in, but I want him to call in every week.
Yeah.
Because I can't get enough of that.
But also, I think he picks his time well, because, if he came in every time, maybe we wouldn't appreciate it. Maybe come with some dumb stats. That's a good stat.
It's a ripper stat. 125. Wow. We were gassing up Usman just before, so, I got it based on vibe, but it's good to have it backed up with some numbers.
Tommy Tobler, if you're listening, brah, turn that into a little stats title card, like a stats card. We can put that up.
Nice. On we go.
Hey, gents, the resident shark dribbler, a.k.a. the first and only lippy dribbler to ever leap a fucking video fame. Lovely words you spoke about the Sharkies on the Monday pod. We would love to be your second favourite team, but I just want to make one thing abundantly clear. We don't want that fat oath as a PM as our supporter either. I was at the game on Saturday, and as soon as that moron came onto the big screen, people started hurling abuse at him. Well, so much so that if it was me copping it, I'd probably start to cry. If you get the chance, go to Shark Park. Even if it's the shittest game of rugby league, it's still worth a trip to see me get abused because it's a good time. Really hope he changes teams. Reckon he'd suit, I don't know, a Tigers, some loser club, I don't know. Anyway, beers soon. Ingrid Maccas never.
Well, he's a man of the people, we know that. Look, he is your number one supporter, and there's nothing that you can do about that.
No.
Doesn't mean you've got a shit side or that you aren't ripping it down or that Nico isn't hot. That doesn't mean any of those things. All it means is he's your number one supporter.
Yep.
So,
ScoMo, a huge Sharks fan.
He loves rugby league football.
Oh, well, apparently.
He gets it.
Yeah, he's a huge rugby league fan.
He gets it. He just gets it.
Yeah, he does.
So,
Look, is he a big, fat, useless gimp? Yes, all those things are true. But is he still your number one fan? Yes, he is. You'll never be able to shake that until he's not PM. When he's not PM, who gives a fuck?
Nah, he'll still be there.
But who gives a fuck at that point? You know what I mean?
It means less, but he'll still always be your number one ticket holder.
But, you assume once he loses in the next election, assuming he does, that the camera won't pan to a big fat gimp like that every time he's at the ground.
It'll pan. It'll still pan.
But you know what? He probably won't even go anymore because he's like, he's only using it as some like...
Prime Minister is like, you're still always an ex-Prime Minister.
Yes, I know, but some are probably more revered than others. I don't imagine this guy's going to be, like...
If Julia Gillard rocked up to a game of footy, they'd pan to her.
Yeah, maybe they would. Maybe they would. I think she's a Western Bulldogs fan. Anyway, let's move on.
Yo, Dave, Tommy Tobler, Eddie, Tom, this is a Slong dribbler, Slong-time listener, Slong-time caller, never got on the show, boys. Boys, I got a phone call today. I live in Lismore, flood-ravaged Lismore, and as you know, there have been some floods recently, and the government declared a natural disaster zone and all that kind of shit. Been getting word in the community that what's going on is a lot of people from outside the community are changing their addresses on Centrelink to the Lismore region so they can get their Centrelink disaster claims. Anyway, boys, got a phone call today from Centrelink, and they're saying, that this person has changed their address to my address today, and that they feel that it could be fraudulent, blah blah, and they stated the name of the person, and didn't really click to me. They said the name Edward Simpson, and I'm like, nah, I know him. He must be the call up trying to get some money, blah blah, and hang up on the phone call. Then clicked me a little bit later. Bloody Edward Simpson, Ed Simpson, bloody Eddie Simpson. I'm wondering, it can't be bloody Eddie Simpson from the Hello Sport podcast. Can't be. Surely the bank's paid his bills, or he hasn't done his whole pay on the pokies over the weekend. Surely it's not Eddie Simpson from the Hello Sport podcast. Anyway, Eddie, if it's you, mate, and you need a few dollars, mate, I'm here to help if you need it. If it's you, come to the address you put down on the Centrelink form. Bring some rabbit's ears, a rabbit's tail, and in your jocks. If you come to the address that you put down on the Centrelink form and come in the bedroom and get down on all fours and say, Rabbitoh's 13 plus, I might be able to give you a few dollars. Anyway, boys, see you soon.
Gig's up.
Yeah, you've been caught.
Been caught red-handed. Gig's up.
He's happy not to tell anyone, though, as long as it sounds like you go and suck him off at his house in Lismore.
And tell him fucking rabbits 13 plus.
That's fucking disgraceful, though, that people are doing that.
It's how do you think you'd get away with that?
Maybe people are getting away with it. I don't know. But there's a couple of things. There's a few ways to look at it. It's obviously disgraceful behaviour to change your address so you can try to get fucking money from people who actually need it. And then there's also a side where you're I wonder whether how bad someone's situation got to be where they need to do that to get money. And I'm not saying that both are true. Do you know what I mean? There is something where I'm if you were doing it, right, you're a great piece of shit. If that was because you don't need it. But if someone else is well, I'm actually just fucking, my natural disaster is just my life, and I can't afford to do anything. And then someone else doing that, it just is sort of it's all sad.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I know what you're saying. It's still pretty fucking lowbrow. So shout out to the Edward Simpson that's running that racket.
Dragging your good name through the mud.
Look, I can't be responsible for all Edward Simpsons.
No.
I don't know how many there would be in Australia.
I used to, growing up, think that I was the only Tom Birmingham in the world, and then Facebook comes along and you just Google your name, or you Facebook your name, you're like, oh, okay.
I wonder how many would there be in Australia, Edward Simpsons? 500, 1,000?
Or when you Google Edward Simpson, your LinkedIn profile is the first that comes up.
Yeah, but
I mean, give me some of that, bro. Look at you.
You know what I mean?
Look at you.
You know what I mean?
Look at you.
You know what I mean?
There's a Dr. Edward Simpson at the Australian National University researching nuclear reactions and their applications.
Dude,
Fair
we should
income.
try find people with our same names who are interesting and like hit them up. Can you see if anyone else is called Tom Birmingham who's
Thomas or Tom? What do you rock?
Well, I think if you're Thomas or Tom, you're in. I don't give a shit. I'm Thomas. I'm also Tom. You're Edward. You're also Eddie. Like,
yeah, sure. I want to meet this nuclear guy.
Yeah, that guy sounds interesting. I bet I don't have anyone cool like that.
But then also, would I want to meet the guy running this fucking emergency flood racket?
You know what?
Probably not.
You probably don't want to meet that guy. It's probably already a bit tough. I think we steer clear of anyone who's not doing anything like nuclear fusion. You know, like that's cool.
I will say this just to, let down gracefully that dribbler who called in. I won't be coming to your house with
bunny ears
or bunny tails or something to suck you off and talk about Rabbitohs 13 plus. Sorry, bro, I won't be happening. Many 13 plus.
Eddie, Tom, fuck you, Dior. Just sitting here watching the Gold Coast Canberra game. And I'm just looking at the scoreboard. It looks a bit off. Something's not right. I'm a bit disappointed with Fox League this year, 3 rounds in, and just wondering, are you boys good intercept. Are you boys pro counting down from 40 to 0, or are you boys pro counting up from 0 to 40? Personally, I'm 0 to 40. Not a fan of the 40 to 0, but let us know, eh? Shot, boys.
We're 40 to 0.
Wait, you count down? Okay. Listen.
We count down because KO counts down.
Correct. Great point. I will say this. Firstly, this guy might be the least observant person in human history because that changed at least a year or two ago.
Maybe 3 years ago.
Secondly, when it did happen, we were initially pissed off, I think, but then I realised that who gives a fuck, and I kept on living my life.
Then I remembered I like space, and they'd count down before rockets launch. So
yeah, and I realised that I like to have sort of some just freed up bandwidth in my brain.
Well, no, you know
to
what?
care about things that actually matter.
Tom likes food, so he likes seeing a microwave, which is heating up his, pizza pockets. He likes to see that come down to 0.
Yeah.
As an anticipation builds, holy shit, that pizza pocket is moments away. Moments away. It was minutes away, now it's moments away. Now it's seconds away. Now, done. That's why the big fella likes counting down.
Yeah.
I'm space, he's pizza pockets.
Listen, I didn't get to speak for myself there, but Eddie he's not wrong.
On we go.
Pizza pocket's a weird call, but I mean, I get it.
Hey boys,
You'd love pizza pockets.
uncircumcised
Too hot
dribbler
inside.
here.
Burn
You'd
your
love 'em.
fucking face off.
Long time listener, first time caller. Just thought, listening to the About Even pod, he's mentioned Daniel Ricciardo. Reach out as well, Dan. But I don't think there is a bigger Magoo on the face of the earth than Daniel Ricciardo.
Ooh, hot
Every
take.
time he's on a camera and on that Drive to Survive, I just cringe at the levels of Magoo he produces.
Wow.
It's immense. What are your boys' thoughts? Para to win the comp forever. Manly to suck forever also.
Really
cheers, boys.
Slaying us with those calls there. Dude, anti-Danny Ricciardo rhetoric is serious hot take central, areas.
That's a very hot take. Like, from my perspective, he's got a bit about him. He's not a bland, vanilla, fucking
European
intense
sort of
loser.
weird dude.
Like, yeah, okay, maybe he could wear a bit thin on you if you weren't that way inclined. I can go along with that. I like it. I like that he's a bit weird and quirky and fucking different and like doesn't give the same vanilla loserish answers. He's also hot as fuck. He's got a great smile. He used to be quick. He's not quick anymore, but he used to be quick. He's won some
races.
F1s. He won some races.
If that's it for him, that he's just going to be, he's going to win some races. He's going to be funny and have good teeth and a good smile. Then that's
and
it.
Made shitloads of money.
Shitloads of money. Then that's what we got for. It's what we got out of him. Did we think that he was going to be a world champ? Yeah, we did. Maybe that's not on the cards for Danny Rick anymore. But you know what? As long as he keeps it entertaining, jags a couple of podiums or a win here and there, maybe never again with how slow he is. But, potentially.
Look, as long as he's on the grid, it's possible.
If he's on the grid, then you're in with a shot. That's what they always say.
But as you look, mate, thanks for the hot take. But a hot take it is.
Oh, it's hot, piping hot. Pizza pocket in a fucking microwave.
That's been left in a minute too long.
Way too long. Burn your face off. Core of the earth stuff.
On we go. One more. Maybe
Hey,
two.
Tom, Eddie, Dior, please play this as it is being played in reality. So Tom may or may not remember that he did see Schmicko on the weekend. Check his phone. He did get a photo with him. He may not remember it. But anyways, so my dad is Schmicko, and he has reason to believe that Tom and Eddie's podcast, recent podcasts, especially relating to the ones that have to do with Schmicko, have been in form of a malicious attack on Schmicko, saying that he's old, he can't play, he can't bowl, and all that kind of stuff. Where me and my brother know, who also play with Schmicko, that these are just one-offs. They don't mirror his performances in other games. They've purely just been a one-off performance where he's bowled shit, and you've seen the rest. So we just want to prove to my dad, Schmicko, that these are not malicious attacks. This is just how the podcast performs, and we'd love for you guys to back us up here, because Schmicko just does not believe it, and we just wanted to see the lighter side of it and enjoy the podcast for what it is. Thanks always. Bye.
Listen. We love Schmicko, and I'd completely forgotten that I saw him, but I did see him. That was when I was pushing the boat out hard on the weekend. I will go and find that photo of Schmicko and I breaking bread, much like Sean Penn and El Chapo. Schmicko, listen, you are old. That's just no disrespect. You're an older gentleman. And when we played, the only time we played, I did pound you for 50-odd runs off 18 balls-ish. They took a photo of me and shit, put it up on the Last Man Standing. I was being celebrated for pounding you into the ground. Those things are true, but it's not about a malicious attack. I fucking love Schmicko. We're always getting videos of him like out with the boys having a good time. I can't remember the fucking team name, but all good dudes. We had a bit of a yarn to him on the weekend. No anti-Schmicko, no malicious shit, just having a laugh. Apologies if you were offended, Schmicko. Definitely not the intention. The intention was merely to talk about my heroics, and heroics they were.
Look, at the end of the day, if your boys are correct and you can bowl a couple and you can bat a bit, happy to be proven, well, not proven wrong, but happy to glow that up.
Yeah.
Happy to glow up the fact that you can land a couple and you can bat a bit.
I think they're actually playing in the grand final potentially. So Schmicko clearly must do something.
But I've never met you or seen you in my fucking goddamn life. I wouldn't be able to spot you even if $1 billion was on the line. So I've got no dog in this fight. All I know is that Tom pounded you, and that's the version of events I've been.
That's
my version of events.
There are two truths here. There can be two truths.
Yeah.
My experience was that I pounded a man so deep into the earth's core
that it's lucky he survived.
There may be other truths where that was a one-off performance,
and
particularly
that Schmicko
bad
usually
one,
does the pounding,
and that Schmicko usually a pounder. Now, when we played him again, I wasn't playing, so I haven't seen a Schmicko of consequence.
Yeah,
I'd love to.
Both can be true.
I wish nothing but the best for you and the team, whose fucking name I can't remember.
Is it the Radbacks, or is it is it Connolly CC?
No.
They're who's playing in the finals.
Okay, well then they lied about making the grand final on the weekend, but whatever. Shout out to Schmicko, love Schmicko, no anti-Schmicko rhetoric, we're celebrating Schmicko. But Schmicko, you must know that when we played, you and I, when we faced each other, I bested you.
And that's all she wrote.
And that's all she wrote. I pounded you into the earth.
Thanks for the call, bruh.
Thanks for the call. Shout out to Schmicko. Love Schmicko. Shout out to everyone. Is that us?
Hell of a show. Shout out to the punter. Shout out to the dribbler.
Yep.
Especially the dribblers this week. Shout out to you.
Yep.
And the dribblers.
Yeah, and the driblets.
Love you all, mate.
Could you two just not talk anymore?